What if I told you that one of BTS's biggest concerts of 2026 is now surrounded by uncertainty? Not because of low ticket sales, not because of the members, but because of an unexpected government decision. Just when ARMY thought everything was ready, a shocking report from Chile left thousands of fans confused. Tickets had already sold out, travel plans had already been booked, and excitement was at an all-time high. But suddenly, reports claimed that the National Sports Institute of Chile had not authorized the use of the National Stadium for BTS's concerts. So what exactly happened? Why would one of the biggest concerts of the year face such a massive obstacle after months of preparation? And is the concert really in danger? Let's break down everything that has been reported so far. For months, BTS's upcoming concerts in Chile had been among the most anticipated events of the year. Fans from different countries planned to travel to Santiago, hotels quickly filled up, flights were booked, and thousands of ARMY eagerly counted down the days until October. According to reports, BTS was scheduled to perform at Chile's famous National Stadium on October 14th, 16th, and 17th, making these concerts some of the hottest tickets of 2026. The production company had already begun preparations months earlier, and ticket demand was so overwhelming that many described the concerts as one of the biggest entertainment events Chile would host this year. Everything appeared to be moving smoothly, but behind the scenes, discussions between the organizers and Chilean authorities were reportedly still ongoing. According to media reports, negotiations had been taking place between the National Sports Institute, HYBE, the Ministry of Sport, and the production company responsible for organizing BTS's concerts. Then came the announcement that changed everything. Reports claimed that the National Sports Institute had not yet authorized the use of the National Stadium for the concerts, immediately raising one important question: why? According to the reported explanation, the issue was not BTS themselves, but the technical requirements of their world-class concert production. Unlike a traditional concert stage placed at one end of the stadium, BTS's production reportedly features a massive 360-degree stage positioned in the center of the field, allowing fans from every section of the stadium to enjoy a better viewing experience. However, this impressive setup also requires a much longer installation process. Reports suggested that building the stage would take approximately 9 days, while dismantling everything after the concerts would require several additional days. According to officials, such a lengthy setup could significantly affect the condition of the stadium's playing field. They reportedly expressed concerns that the heavy equipment, construction work, and extended use of the grass could damage the pitch and make it difficult to host important football matches scheduled shortly after the concerts. Because of this, protecting the field became one of the government's main priorities. Reports further stated that officials believed there were not yet enough guarantees that the grass would remain in acceptable condition following such a large-scale production. As a result, the National Sports Institute reportedly decided not to approve the stadium under the current conditions. The news immediately shocked fans across social media. Many people were surprised because ticket sales had already begun months earlier, and even more surprising were reports claiming that the financial agreement for the stadium had still not been fully finalized, despite thousands of tickets already being sold. According to Chilean media, the agreement between the organizers and the stadium was reportedly worth around 1 billion Chilean pesos, with the payment intended to go directly to the national treasury. Because of this unexpected situation, thousands of ARMY around the world suddenly found themselves asking the same questions. What happens now? Is BTS's Chile concert really at risk? Or can both sides still find a solution before the concert dates arrive? At that moment, no one had a clear answer, and instead of calming down, the controversy had only just begun, with fans around the world closely following every new report and hoping for a positive resolution. As news of the stadium issues spread across social media, confusion quickly turned into frustration. Thousands of ARMY who had already purchased tickets began asking whether the concerts would still happen as planned. Many fans had booked international flights, reserved hotels, and planned vacations months in advance, making the uncertainty even more stressful. Soon after, Chilean media outlets started covering the controversy in greater detail. According to those reports, officials from the Ministry of Sport and the National Sports Institute explained that their decision was based on technical and operational concerns rather than the artists themselves. According to the reported statement, BTS's concert production requires a massive 360-degree stage placed in the middle of the stadium. Because of its size and complexity, the stage installation would reportedly take around 9 days, followed by several additional days to dismantle everything after the concerts. Officials reportedly believed that this lengthy setup process could seriously affect the stadium's hybrid grass field. Since the National Stadium regularly hosts major football matches and national sporting events, preserving the condition of the pitch was considered one of the government's top priorities. Reports also stated that upcoming matches involving the Chilean national football team and Universidad de Chile could potentially be affected if the field suffered damage during the concert preparations. Because of these concerns, authorities reportedly said that sufficient guarantees regarding the preservation of the field had not yet been provided, leading them to withhold authorization for the venue under the current conditions. However, while officials were explaining their position, many fans online remained unconvinced. Across social media, thousands of ARMY pointed out that other internationally renowned artists, including Coldplay and Bad Bunny, had previously held large-scale concerts at the same stadium, leading many fans to question why similar concerns were now being raised for BTS. They argued that if previous productions had been allowed to use the venue, they struggled to understand why BTS's concerts were facing additional obstacles. As discussions continued, hashtags related to BTS and the Chile concerts quickly began trending across multiple social media platforms. Some fans expressed disappointment, others demanded greater transparency from the authorities, while many simply wanted clear answers so they could decide whether to continue with their travel plans. The controversy soon became one of the most talked about entertainment stories in Chile, prompting journalists to seek further clarification from government officials. In response to growing public attention, Chilean Interior Minister Álvaro Elizalde reportedly stated that alternative venues near the National Stadium had been proposed and that discussions between all parties were still ongoing. His statement gave some fans hope that the concerts might still take place, even if changes to the venue became necessary. However, for many ARMY, the possibility of moving the concerts created a whole new set of concerns. The National Stadium is one of Chile's largest and most iconic venues, capable of accommodating tens of thousands of fans, and many wondered whether any alternative location would have enough capacity for everyone who had already purchased tickets. Questions also began circulating about seating arrangements, ticket validity, travel schedules, accommodation plans, and whether any production changes could affect the overall concert experience. Another reason this controversy attracted so much attention was its timing. According to reports, ticket sales had opened months earlier, demand had been overwhelming from the very beginning, and many shows reportedly sold out shortly after tickets became available. Because fans had already committed their money and travel plans long before this issue became public, many questioned why the authorization process had not been fully completed before ticket sales began. Some believe that negotiations should have been finalized much earlier, while others argued that government approvals and large-scale venue agreements can sometimes take longer than expected, especially for productions of this size. At the same time, that's my personal opinion. From my point of view, this entire situation feels quite surprising. As far as we know, BTS's concerts in Chile were announced a long time ago. Ticket sales opened months in advance, fans bought their tickets, many people booked flights and hotels, and thousands of ARMY started preparing for this special event. Because of that, I personally feel that discussions between HYBE, the concert organizers, and the Chilean authorities should have been largely resolved much earlier. That's why it seems unusual to hear about such a major issue only when the concerts are getting so close. Again, I don't know everything that happened behind the scenes, and there may be important details that haven't been made public. But as a fan watching this situation unfold, it does feel disappointing. I also think about the fans. Many ARMY have spent a lot of money to attend these concerts. Some are traveling from other cities, while others are even flying from different countries. They've invested not only money, but also time, excitement, and months of planning. If there were concerns about the stadium or technical requirements, I personally believe it would have been better if those issues had been resolved before tickets went on sale, or at least much earlier. Announcing problems at such a late stage naturally creates stress and uncertainty for thousands of people. Of course, I understand that governments have responsibilities too. They have to think about public facilities, future sporting events, and the safety of everyone involved. Those are important considerations, and they shouldn't be ignored. But at the same time, I hope the authorities also consider the fans who have already committed to this event. These people trusted that everything was moving forward as planned, and they deserve clear communication and a solution that minimizes disruption. In the end, I truly hope that both sides can work together and find a positive solution. Whether that means approving the original venue or arranging another suitable stadium, I just want the concerts to happen successfully so that BTS and ARMY can enjoy this long-awaited event without any more uncertainty. That's simply how I see the situation. And of course, this is just my personal opinion. I'd also love to hear what you think, so feel free to share your respectful thoughts in the comments below. And for now, only time will tell how this story unfolds, and everyone is hoping for a positive resolution that allows BTS and ARMY to finally come together for the unforgettable concerts they have been waiting for.